Our top story: as the Aquarius sails through stormy seas, the situation of the 629 rescued migrants is making waves on mainland Europe. The boat, accompanied by 2 Italian ships, is heading to Spain after both Italy and Malta closed their ports. And now Italian media are reporting that a meeting on Friday between the French president and the new Italian prime minister may be in doubt. Well, the rescued migrants are currently heading across the Mediterranean towards Valencia, where they're expected to dock on Saturday evening. They are now split between 3 ships: the Aquarius, an Italian naval vessel, as well as 1 from the Italian Coast Guard. Our correspondent Annelise Borges is the only broadcast journalist on the Aquarius, and she has been on board from the very beginning of the mission, and she is joining us live now. Annelise, good to see you there. Can you tell us what we know so far?
Well, the situation on board right now is quite difficult, Tessa, because the weather has been getting significantly worse. We're currently navigating against very strong winds, and last night people had to be moved inside the ship because waves started crashing on the lower deck, and it was no longer safe for them there. And of course, we're talking about very vulnerable people health-wise. These are people who have now spent 5 days at sea. They are exhausted. They are dehydrated. They need to get to shore. And over the last few hours, pretty much everyone on this ship got really sick, including, of course, pregnant women, breastfeeding women. So it's quite difficult for them right now.
Indeed, they have been through quite a lot in the last few days. What have they been telling you? You've been speaking to a lot of them.
Yes, we have been spending a lot of time together over the last few days, and all of these people have very difficult stories to share about crossing. Some of them tried this dangerous crossing several times. They ended up being caught by Libyan Coast Guard, for example, ended up in jails in Libya, so they have very different stories to tell you about that. And others have dramatic stories about why they left their homes in the first place. I spoke to one woman from Sierra Leone who said she had to escape because she couldn't bear the idea of her 2 little girls undergoing a very painful tradition in her village, that of female genital mutilation.
Good. Good?
Is this good? Like that? To describe Soniata's journey as difficult is a major understatement. The 23-year-old mother of 2 has left Sierra Leone almost a year ago.
Because they want to put my baby suicide in. I do not want them to put my baby suicide in, so I decided to leave the country.
She traveled through Guinea, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, alone, for a chance to give Memuna and Khadijato a better future.
So one find better place, so we will go to school.
Soniata, Memuna and Khadijato have been among the hundreds stranded at sea after Italy closed its ports to Aquarius. She says she doesn't mind what European country takes them, as long as it's safe. Where do you want to go?
I want to anywhere where so comfortable for me and good to stay there.
And for the children?
For the children, safe for the children.
The men, women and children aboard Aquarius have little knowledge about how their experience has affected politics in Europe. But politics will certainly play a determinant role in defining their future. For now, even their expectations are on hold, for they will only materialize, if at all, when we finally reach land.
A difficult situation for those aboard, a situation they will have to cope with for a few days, Tessa, because this trip is expected to last until Saturday. That's when we are expected to reach the port of Valencia.
All right, thank you for that, Annelise Borges, reporting live there from the Aquarius. Well, the handling of this crisis has sparked a serious diplomatic row between France and Italy. Rome summoned France's ambassador on Wednesday, cancelling a meeting between both countries' finance ministers, and is now calling into question a planned visit by the Prime Minister to Paris. Interior Minister Matteo Salvini says France is in no position to criticize.
The issue is that our history of generosity and volunteering does not deserve to be addressed harshly by representatives of the French government, who I believe and hope will apologise officially as soon as possible.
Of course, this growing spat between France and Italy is making headlines across Europe this morning. Our correspondent Alistair Sanford has been looking into this. Alistair, Franco-Italian relations are strained right now because of the situation on board the Aquarius. Where's this going?
Yes, I think the tensions between France and Italy are just coming to the boil now. They have been bubbling under the surface. Italy feels annoyed, really. I mean, the comments that really have sparked the Italian anger are from President Macron, who accused Italy of being irresponsible by not taking in the migrants. Now, there have been tensions at the border at Ventimiglia between France and Italy, with Italy accusing France of turning migrants away. There's also accusations from Italy that under the 2015 EU deal, France hasn't taken anything like the numbers of migrants that it said that it was supposed to. It's only taken hundreds as opposed to thousands. And now what this is doing is jolting EU leaders into action. I mean, the 2015 deal showed how powerless they were, really, and how it's down to individual countries like Italy to fend for themselves. Angela Merkel has intervened now, taking a slightly more diplomatic approach, really, than Macron, calling for a unified approach and saying that Italy feels it's not getting the support it needs. And what we're seeing is individual countries acting. Germany and Austria are going to act together to close off another route coming from the Balkans. But the pressure really is now on EU leaders to make their action effective.
I just want to quickly bring in what Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz said. He said that Austria, Germany and Italy have formed an, quote, axis of the willing to combat illegal immigration. So what does this mean for future boats that come and try to enter Europe?
Well, that'll remain to be seen. If Italy carries on like this, refusing to let the boats in, then that really does put pressure on other countries to step in. And we've seen that with Spain, for instance, now. What is happening, in effect, is these individual countries like Germany and Austria acting alone. But the pressure will be on Merkel and on others now to put the money where the mouth is, really, when they say that Europe needs a unified approach. Well, that's got to work in practice.
Indeed, that elusive coordinated solution. Thank you for that, Alistair Sanford.